Martin Brundle has had enough as he is raging at Max Verstappen, claiming that his lack of sportsmanship could tarnish his legacy. This comes after the Mexican Grand Prix, where Verstappen's actions sparked a lot of debate. The revelations are sure to stir up some major discussions in the F1 world. What does this mean for Verstappen's reputation and his future in the sport? Max Verstappen received 2 separate 10-second penalties during the Mexico City Grand Prix after incidents with McLaren's Lando Norris. These penalties were given for his aggressive wheel-to-wheel battles with Norris, which raised concerns over his driving behavior, and the stewards were firm in their decision. Verstappen had to remain in the pit stop for 20 seconds, causing him to finish in 6th place, his lowest finish in the 2024 season. Meanwhile, Norris secured 2nd place behind Carlos Sainz of Ferrari, who won the race. This result cut Verstappen's lead in the championship to 47 points with 4 races left. Commenting on the race, F1 commentator Martin Brundle said, "I felt disappointed with Verstappen's on-track actions in Mexico." Brundle expressed concern that Verstappen's uncompromising attitude could harm his legacy in F1. Verstappen's moves, especially during corner battles, sparked discussions about driver safety and race etiquette. One of the incidents that led to Verstappen's penalties took place at corner 8, not a typical spot for overtaking. Verstappen, seemingly feeling that Norris had gone off track to pass him, decided to dive inside the McLaren, Brundle explained. This risky move almost took both drivers out of the race. Although Norris managed to avoid an accident, Verstappen received a 2nd penalty for going off track and gaining an advantage. Many felt that the penalty was fair, though Brundle stated, "It could have easily been a drive-through penalty for dangerous driving." This move allowed Ferrari's Charles Leclerc to pass, securing a 1-2 position for Ferrari at that moment. Norris's delay due to Verstappen's actions, followed by his close pursuit until Verstappen's pit stop on lap 26, likely affected Norris's chances for a win, especially given his strong pace toward the race's end. Brundle's take on Verstappen's racing style. Brundle further said, "I know Max doesn't care what others think, but it saddens me when he drives like this." He noted that Verstappen, a multiple-time champion with extraordinary skill, has more driving talent in his little pinky than most of us ever had. However, Brundle fears that Max's legacy in Formula One could be affected by this aggressive, at times unsportsmanlike approach. "It's a shame," he added, hoping that Verstappen would lean on his skill without the risky moves. Brundle was particularly frustrated by Verstappen's 2nd clash with Lando Norris, saying, "I'm so amazed by Max and I hate when he does those kinds of things because he's better than that. He's too good to drive like that." According to Brundle, the move seemed like a momentary lapse in judgment, adding, "Honestly, I think it was a brief moment of red mist." When asked if Max's actions were due to frustration, Brundle agreed it was possible, pointing to Verstappen's recent struggles with Red Bull's car. "He's carrying some frustration because he has the 3rd fastest car on the track right now." While Verstappen's combativeness is part of what makes him exciting to watch, Brundle highlighted a limit that was crossed during that incident, saying that 2nd incident was well above the limit. He even discussed a theory about why Red Bull might have hesitated to sign Carlos Sainz, who became a free agent in the driver market this season. Sainz, who won the Mexican Grand Prix for Ferrari and secured his 2nd victory this season, was seen as a potential fit alongside Verstappen. Yet, Red Bull didn't pursue him, and Brundle suggested there could have been concerns from drivers within the team. Sainz held off Norris in the final laps, marking a strong finish to the weekend and a pivotal moment as the season nears its end. Sainz's final days with Ferrari. Carlos Sainz's recent victory in Mexico City could mark his last win with Ferrari. At the end of the season, he will part ways with the team, as Ferrari has decided to bring in Lewis Hamilton to join Charles Leclerc for the next season. Sainz, a free agent earlier in the year, explored options with several teams. While Mercedes briefly considered him, they quickly lost interest, and Red Bull wasn't a serious option despite Sainz's history with the organization. Red Bull never seriously pursued him, insiders mentioned, despite Sainz's early days as a junior driver for Red Bull and as Max Verstappen's teammate with Toro Rosso in 2015. After leaving Ferrari, Sainz has secured a seat with Williams for the 2025 season, though this likely ends his run at the front of the pack, as Williams isn't yet positioned to compete for podiums and wins. But Brundle praised Sainz for his calm and composed approach during a tough year. "Sainz has handled a challenging season with incredible dignity," Brundle said, observing that Sainz has refrained from criticizing Ferrari or expressing disappointment over their decision. Instead, he has publicly acknowledged that Ferrari couldn't pass up the opportunity to sign Hamilton. He further said, "Other teams have watched closely and are impressed by his composure and professionalism." While Red Bull technically has no open seat, Sergio Perez remains under contract until the end of 2026. Brundle hinted that mid-season evaluations left Red Bull open to considering Sainz. The team assessed drivers like Daniel Ricciardo and Liam Lawson as potential teammates for Verstappen. Sainz has shown impressive consistency and kept Leclerc on his toes at Ferrari, making him a perfect candidate for Red Bull, Brundle stated. However, despite Sainz's strong qualifications, the opportunity didn't materialize. Brundle also speculated that historical tensions may have prevented Sainz from returning to Red Bull. The history between Max, Carlos and their fathers, Jos Verstappen and Carlos Sainz Sr., may have played a big role in Red Bull's decision. He recalled the intense relationship between the two drivers and their families from their time as teammates. He concluded saying, "Red Bull likely weighed this past friction, even though they are uniquely positioned with a junior team," pointing to Red Bull's cautious approach as a potential barrier. With Carlos Sainz now signed to Williams for the 2025 season, the journey ahead promises to be different from his time with Ferrari. James Vowles, Williams' team principal, is committed to restoring Williams to its former glory, and Sainz will play a key role in that mission. However, former F1 driver Martin Brundle believes the challenge for Sainz will be in leaving behind a dream seat at Ferrari for a rebuilding journey with Williams. Carlos has already achieved what most drivers dream of, a seat with one of F1's most iconic teams, Brundle remarked. Now, stepping into Williams, he'll face the task of helping a team in transition fight its way back to the top. Asked about Sainz's new pairing with Alex Albon at Williams, Brundle highlighted that the duo's success will largely depend on the car's performance. "It all depends on how competitive the car will be," he commented, acknowledging Williams' current position as a mid-grid team working toward consistency and improvement. Carlos is a young, talented driver who just held a seat at Ferrari. What more could you ask for? Next year, though, he'll be stepping back from that dream position, Brundle added, emphasizing the challenge ahead as Sainz moves away from a top team. In a broader reflection, Martin Brundle has recently spoken about Max Verstappen's intense driving style following Verstappen's incidents with Lando Norris in Mexico. "Max's talent is undeniable," Brundle said, "but his aggressive approach on the track could cast a shadow over his achievements." The incidents where Verstappen pushed Norris off track and received 2 penalties have raised questions about the Red Bull driver's legacy. "The move in turn 8 was risky and could have ended badly. It's the kind of driving that raises eyebrows," Brundle noted, adding that the stewards' penalties showed a newfound resolve to discourage overly aggressive tactics. Verstappen's legacy. So, Max Verstappen's recent actions, highlighted by Martin Brundle, could indeed mark a turning point in how fans and the F1 community view his sportsmanship. Brundle's analysis suggests that Verstappen's aggressive style, while thrilling, may be putting his legacy at risk. "This could be a defining moment for Max," Brundle noted, reflecting on the potential long-term impact of Verstappen's hard-driving tactics. Brundle's theory regarding Red Bull's decision not to re-sign Carlos Sainz offers a rare glimpse into the nuanced dynamics that shape F1. Old tensions from when Sainz and Verstappen were teammates at Toro Rosso may have influenced Red Bull's choice, Brundle speculated, focusing on past rivalries, and even the involvement of their fathers, Jos Verstappen and Carlos Sainz Sr., could make Red Bull wary of potential conflicts. Known for their strong personalities, both fathers might have added an extra layer of complexity to Red Bull's considerations. Despite Ferrari's decision to release him, Sainz has proven himself as a steady and reliable driver, while Verstappen's more confrontational style has sparked debate. Brundle remarked, "Even if Sainz seemed like a strong fit for Red Bull on paper, the history between him and Verstappen may have been seen as an unnecessary risk." So, what do you think of Brundle's rage over Verstappen and all praises for Sainz? Comment below your views and subscribe for more such videos.